Alright, we're now going to concentrate on applying the kick snare technique to the B verse as labeled in our transcription below. And we're actually not in the level 1 transcription. You have to move down to the notes below that. But this is the B verse, and we're going to maybe grab some of the chords from the chorus and do the kick snare as well. So, looking at the B verse, our first measure, using the 4th fret on string number 4 with our open strings 5 and 6 here, and a walk up the 4th string of open 2 and 4. Play that a few times. Now we're going to add in the kick with our very first chord. Alright, now between these first two chords, we're going to add a snare. So it's kick, snare, and kick with that chord again. Then we finish off by just playing the open 2-4. Let's apply the same thing to the next measure, where we're going to play the G chord and this B5 power chord with the same kick on the G, snare on its own, and then kick with the power chord. Alright, we have measure number 3, same technique, kick, snare, and a new chord with our A included, or 2nd fret, where we'll do the kick. So you may notice a pattern here. I'm always going kick, snare, kick. Measure number 1. You could add in our connection notes here. Measure number 2. Measure 3. And measure 4. We'll just play the open 4th fret there with our kick. Alright. Moving on to the chorus, we're going to apply exactly the same technique, but this time with just some chords. Maybe a D, an A, B minor, can we get the F sharp, throw in the kick, the A7 with the snare. So a little different on your last measure. That was F sharp with the kick, snare on its own, the A7 with the kick, snare on its own. Let's again put this together. We have D. Okay, let's finish with the snare. So we're going to add that to each measure now. We got kick, snare, on its own. Move to your next chord, the A. B minor, F sharp minor, A7. Making a very interesting rhythm pattern. One thing that could be added, and it's going to be very challenging, I think, for somebody just grabbing this technique, is playing the B chorus where we just have melody with the same rhythm. That's very difficult because here I'm just playing a single note. I'm going to outline this D chord going, but as I'm playing that, add in that kick snare rhythm. So I sacrifice a note in doing that. So I play the kick with the very first note, play it again, snare on its own, and then come through and get the kick on the 3rd fret 2nd string. So it's like this. Oops, back up to the 2nd fret rather. Play the same thing over the A. B minor. Notice that snare drum, or the snare sound I should say, is always played on its own. I sacrificed the melody there. And so forth. It's a very challenging technique. Probably the first 2 examples are a little bit easier to absorb. The second one probably the easiest of the batch with just playing chords with the kick snare. Good luck, and I'll see you soon.